Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. And this is the 60 subscriber special, driving a Rover to the North Pole. And we are at Point Hotel, and we are going to be taking on some passengers. And I believe I actually clicked on the airplane there. So our first passenger is Dracofunk. There we go. Off screen, I did move some of the guys around. In the front passenger car now is Ed, Steve, and Shaggy B. Behind them in the second passenger car is Kohaku and Vomit. Dr. Orgnag and Skrodrick are in the Highway 47 studio, which I did not put the ladder down, which is a issue if I'm going to have people board. Okay, so once we get everybody embarked, we have to drive onto the ice sheet. All right, there's Dracofunk. And our last passenger, I said in one of the previous videos that the first person to comment would get to be a passenger, and Amin's Ted Taiwan was the first commenter. Unfortunately, I was not able to put the full YouTube username of Amin's Ted Taiwan, so you're just Ted Taiwan. I did attempt that, and it did not go well. Your Kerbal somehow entered the planet and was lost, and the game didn't crash per se, but weird stuff did happen. So I had to shorten the name, and I think that's the best compromise I could do. All right, so before we get started, let's see where we are. So looking to get on the ice, I think the best solution is to go down this slope and reach the ice flats. And once we do that, I think we can get down that way, and I think it will be safer. So here we go. We're not quite fully recharged, but we're not hurting for electricity either. I'm hoping once I get over this hill, I'll be able to see better where I'm going. So for the first time in a while, I don't have a target. Once we get on to the ice, I will go ahead and target our North Pole base. So this is the one of the most difficult parts, and somebody even brought this up earlier, that I may have difficulty getting onto the ice. And in reality, there is quite, like, I'm 250 meters up right now, above the Kerbal sea level, and the ice sheet, I believe, is only like 30 meters maybe. So there is a good amount of going down I'm gonna have to do. This doesn't look too terrible. Famous last words. This doesn't look too terrible. It's like I'm so close now. I'm hoping this isn't too steep. Okay, that was a little bit steeper than I had anticipated. Make sure I'm still going, because this does pull to the right quite a bit. So and I can't yet see exactly where I'm going. So it seems like I'm so close, but it's just still far away, in the sense that it's kind of over the horizon. But I am heading in that direction, more or less. So this has been the plan of how I was going to get on the ice, since I kind of scouted this when I dropped the base and decided that this would be the best route to get there. I have no idea if this was the correct decision, or this will be the downfall of this whole expedition. This whole 16-part series that has gone on. This has been hours of actual time. I think this has been about 20 hours of, will be about 20 hours of driving, give or take, once I'm get there. I guess it wouldn't be too hard to go back and see all of the add up all the times from all the videos. If I would have kept them all at 1 hour, I would actually have a better idea. But there were a couple that were the one episode where I made a mistake. That was nearing 3 hours. I don't want to do that again. And I think there was one that got really close to 2 hours. But hey, I've made it this far. Now, I think this is the point where other people, I don't actually recall seeing where they got onto the ice. And I probably should have maybe looked and see what other people did, but you know, why do that? So honestly, this rover has fared better than I had hoped. It's been a fairly stable rover. It's very stable front to back. It's side to side that I'm somewhat worried about. Like, I did test this to failure in... I have a special save where I test craft for the reusable space program, and if I turned really sharply, I was able to tip this over and roll it, and that's not good. So I've tried to be careful with that. I've tried to avoid severe hills, and I can now see off in the distance, at the top of the screen is the ice sheet. So I'm going to try and head up this hill as directly as possible. And coming at it like this, it just seems very, very steep. And I feel like once I get over crest this hill, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off. I'm hoping once I crest this hill, I'll be able to see where I'm going. Just goes on and on forever. either way, this has been a very interesting endeavor. And we started this off like the challenge I issued at 51 or 52 subscribers, and as of the recording of this, we are at 89, which we joked about that by this time next year, is in 2023, we might be up to 55 subscribers, and suddenly it happened very quickly. And if you're watching this and haven't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't seen the rest of the reusable space program, it's I'm not going to say that my videos were great, and I think I have a better idea to make them more streamlined for the next season that's going to be starting in January. But I have the reusable space program has kind of met its goals, and the only thing I have left to do, I do want to put a rover on Minmus and the moon, and maybe put a few more surface bases on the moon, or Mun, and I am going to put a base on Minmus. There it is. And I need to go to the right quite a bit. A lot to the right. I don't want to go down that big hill that goes right to that kind of inland lake. I think that will be the thumbnail. Alright, all I gotta do now is get down on the ice. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make this attempt. Slow down just a little bit. All right. I think to the left looks to be the easiest. Oh wow, I'm going way I'm not going way faster. I switched to target. I think I'm still targeting Point Hotel. Just a little bit more. I don't remember if I said this. Once I get down on the S, I'm going to pause for a moment before I make my final push. I might actually do a little bit of an edit in there. Here we go. The moment of truth. And it's hard to judge, like, is that a big ridge? I can't tell. Okay. Okay. I think we are officially on the ice. So let me hit the brakes here for a moment. And I'm going to pause. And I will be right back. Like for you, it's probably not going to even be noticeable. All right. So let's take a look. Here we are. And we are just going to set off. across the frozen North Pole we go. It does seem to be a little bumpy here. I'm trying to think, other than aircraft, I don't know that I've ever driven a Rover. On the ice sheet. I have landed aircraft up here. In fact, the original North Pole expedition was, I think, me, Shaggy B, and Vomit joined me on a recording where I flew an aircraft all the way to the North Pole and landed as close to it as possible. I just kind of want to keep our speed up and heading towards target without having to I don't think I actually tested the top speed of this rover to the point of failure, at least, and definitely not on the ice sheet. So here in 15 minutes, I will check the map view and we'll see how close we are. But I'm not stopping. I'm gonna just keep going until I get there. Try and keep my speed up the whole time. All right. So this is just dropped below 9,000 units of electricity. Kerbal, of course, does not have any EV charging stations up here on the northern ice sheet. I mean, that's something I talked about. A lot of people saying that there's no infrastructure for EVs and that's making it difficult. And that's true, but the same was said about gasoline cars when they first came out. And the truth is, every day more and more infrastructure supporting electric vehicles is coming online, and really that's going to be it's going to happen. And you know, it's not an overnight change, and some parts of it are, you know, there are going to be growing pains. But it's something that we're all going to have to overcome and get used to. So something I didn't think about was the fact that this is pretty flat means in order to keep my speed up, I'm going to be using a good amount of electricity, because I'm quickly, like there in about a minute and a half I used almost 1,000 units of electricity. So I got about 12 minutes left of electricity. Maybe 2 minutes for 1,000, so that'd be 16 more minutes. The other side of that is, because I'm not going up and down all these hills, my average speed will probably be a little bit higher as long as I can remember to keep it up. But I did just drop below 8,000 units of electricity. So if we do meet our goal and I end up having to try and drive this to South Pole, I think what I'm going to do is disconnect the 2 passenger cars and turn them around and see if that helps the issue of the pulling to the right. I don't know if that will or not, but I probably could have done that before heading off to this, because I've mentioned doing it before and then I never do, and I'm always in the middle of these videos and I feel like stopping now is just counterproductive, when all I really have to do is just like keep hitting the A key every now and then, or repeatedly. So here, in about 12 minutes, I will check the map view to see how close we are. You know what, I'm gonna try and stay about around 35 meters per second. Just do a little bit of overcorrecting. Oops, that's... Stop watching the speed for a second. I'll let it drop down. So the ice on Kerbal isn't, I can't tell if it's slicker or just a textured surface and only looks different. Like, my mind wants to tell me that it is slicker. I don't know if that's actually true. Like, I don't know if they changed the physics of the surface here. Well, as of the recording date of this, I am recording this before Monday's video aired, just because, as I said in the last video, that hasn't aired yet as of the recording date, but I am traveling for the holidays, and we're actually leaving tomorrow, so this video needs to be recorded, edited, and uploaded before then. And I'll tell you what, I will go ahead and do some first-person views just in case we do reach 90 subscribers before this comes out. I'm not going to do the whole video, obviously. I'm hopefully mostly through now. I can't see how fast I'm going. There. There. Again, thanks to Doruki, the YouTube user Doruki, for getting it so I can have the target on my nav ball in the first person view, so I don't have to keep guessing. So the first person view thing, if you didn't hear, it was originally 70 subscribers and I'd do a whole episode in first person view, then it was 80 subscribers, I'd do it again, and we met both those goals. I said I'd do it again if we got to 90 subscribers, and we were at 89 as of the recording of this episode. But 89 is not 90. But in the off chance that we did reach 90 before this episode aired, I'll do a little bit of this in first person. I did state, though, that we had to reach that before I recorded, and while I usually tried to wait till the morning after the previous episode aired, the holidays are coming up, and I'm just not able to do that. Which, by the way, happy holidays to everybody, whatever holidays you celebrate or don't celebrate. Everybody, I hope you are having warm family, friends, or even just alone time, whatever best suits you. I know for a lot of people, this is also a time when we struggle with all sorts of things because of extra pressures during this season. And if you're going through that, hopefully you can find somebody to talk to. Just know that you're not alone, and that there will be a day when you look back and remember this time when you were struggling, and it is a moment in the past. Just as I know there will be a time in the future when I look back and can say that I made all those crazy videos driving a rover all the way to the North Pole on Kerbal Space Program. But here I am. And I'll know exactly where I am on the surface of Kerbin here in a couple minutes when I can look at the map view. And we're coming up on only 5,000 units of electricity left. About 3 more minutes and I'll take a look in map view and see what our progress is. We are now below 5,000 units of electricity, so we are below a half of our full electric charge. I'm estimating about 5 more minutes of being able to continue at our full pace. Did I say 5 minutes or 10 minutes? I don't remember. I don't know how I just forget. Whatever. So 10 minutes left of being able to drive at our intended pace. And I haven't really done the math exactly to see how quickly I'm using electricity. I'm just basing this off of what I can see on the charge and the timer that I keep going, so I know how long these episodes are. Okay, I'm gonna oversteer just a little bit, because here in a moment bring our speed up. Let's see where we are. Oh, yeah, I was hoping we were closer. Really hoping we were closer. now dropped below 4,000 units of electricity. And are actually halfway to 3,000. Well, what am I going to do? And the answer is I'm not exactly sure yet. Well, here's what has come up. I had slightly anticipated that I could make it to the North Pole. For some reason, I thought it would only be like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes once I got onto the ice sheet. And I may have greatly underestimated the distance I needed to go to reach there. The other issue, other than the sheer time, is my battery power. And my batteries will recharge because I have RTGs. The issue being, though, I won't be able to keep my speed up. Therefore, I'll have to go much slower or have to stop every now and then to recharge. So I don't think I'm going to make it to the North Pole today. I'm going to, at this point, go until I run out of electricity. Which I think is going to come... Actually, I think it's going to come before the 1 hour mark. Because we're coming up on 2,000 units. So I think I'm going to have to call out that when I run out of electricity, we're going to stop and recharge the batteries and have to do one more push. Man. Yeah, I think I underestimated pretty much everything. And that's kind of been the story about this. I thought originally my plan was that I can make it to each base within about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But I placed the bases specifically because I thought I can make it to each base in under at least 2 hours. And that did not really end up being the case. And that's why this is part 16, which I thought I'd be here during part 9. And I had also figured that once I made it to the ice sheet, I'd be able to reach the base fairly quickly. And that was incorrect. I am going to keep going, though, until my batteries are basically empty. And then we'll stop and recharge and end the episode there. And I'll have to pick it up at a later date. I do want to reach the North Pole before Christmas, which is December 25th, which is this Sunday. So I will have to see if I can squeeze in time to record and edit another episode. But here we are, about 1,000 units of electricity. My speed is still up. And there we are. We're just about to dip below 1,000 units. Yep, there we go. And I am recording this in the morning, and I keep going, but I do have things I have to take care of. Well, you know, I am on the ice. I'm on the ice sheet. We are fully loaded. 2 Kerbals in the front end, 8 passengers, 4 in the studio, 2 people passenger cars full, and we're about to come up on the end of our electricity reserves, so let's just do one final push. I do realize that the North Pole base isn't 100% dead center at the North Pole, but it's relatively close, at least relatively speaking. See, I'm just going to run it straight to 0. And there we go. At this point, I'm going to just let it coast. Let's see where we are. Yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way there. If we had started on the ice sheet, I think I could have made it there in about an hour. But it was kind of tricky getting down there. But here we are. Well, I guess, even though I didn't think I'd be saying this again, join us next time for me continuing to try and get this rover to the North Pole. Once again, like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. We do other Let's Plays, and it's not always me. Sometimes it's Scrodrick or Shaggy B or Vomit. Check out our movie and television commentaries. Just put on the movie that we watched and wait for us to tell you when to start it, and you can listen along with us on your mobile device. It's like we're in your living room, but in a less creepy way. Or maybe it's a more creepy way. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep soldiering on and making it to the North Pole. Good night, everybody.